Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. Guys, today we're doing Overreaction Monday. A lot of crazy week one games, lots of crazy games. Guys, and I'm also in that boat. But I know you guys are noticing it's just me and Vincent today. That's a little weird. What's going on? That's because AJ's overreacting to his week one loss against the Bears. Oh my gosh, that guy's overreacting. He's in sorrow right now. He's not doing okay. Hopefully, he's going to be back maybe tomorrow. But right now, he's overreacting to that Niners Bears game. Gosh, but let's start off. I know what everybody's here for. Everybody's here to go trash talk the Packers because we lost, and I've been hyping them up. Guys, I said they were going to lose this game. All right, come on, please. My first reactions to the game, guys. The first offensive play. Nestor, we're gonna get to the Steelers, all right, man. I'm talking about the Packers, all right. We're gonna talk about them, all right. But first play of the game, I see Christian Watson comes out on the field and say Romeo Doubs. I'm like, dang it, I want Romeo Doubs up there. And then he goes on a go route, burns Patrick Peterson. I was like, oh my god! I was that Homer Simpson scene where he's wearing the Romeo's Dobbs jersey and he fades into the bushes and comes out with the Christian Watson jersey. I was so hyped. I was like, oh my god! First play touchdown. No, we're gonna prove everybody wrong. Freaking drops it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Gosh, and that just set up the whole game of our Packers offense where that drop where that could have been a touchdown right off the bat, answer back against the Vikings, and then we get stuffed on a 4th and goal, 1 yard to go. AJ Dillon couldn't do it. Gosh, man, I knew we were going to lose this game, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. It wasn't as bad as last year when we lost against the Saints 41-3. But we lost this one 23-3 or 23-7. I mean, So we're starting off better than we did last year, and we ended up last year pretty well. So I think we can bounce back from this. Next week, you got the Bears, perfect game to help us out, get back in the rhythm. But it's not a good first week, but I'm excited about the future.
Yeah, man. I think it was just literally that first play. When you drop a pass that could possibly go for a touchdown, it just sets something into the offensive mindset. And Aaron Rodgers, you could tell he was definitely frustrated a little bit with that. He was trying his best not to show it because he has talked about it in practice and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But when you just start a game off like that, right in his hands, it just drops the ball. Sometimes it happens like that. But kudos to the Vikings. They played a very hard game. Defensively, they were looking pretty decent. Offensively, I think it was just the Justin Jefferson show. I think he had like 184 yards receiving on 9 catches, 2 touchdowns. It's insane. But yeah, I think it was just the Justin Jefferson show, and there was just some shaky moments with Rodgers and his receivers. And I mean, the defensive line for the Vikings was getting some pressure on Rodgers, so he had to throw it quickly. And with young receivers, it's hard to get guys open quickly, and just miscommunications here and there. So I think that was really the downfall.
For sure. And guys, I'm gonna go through everything from special teams to defensive, from offensive matchups, all that stuff over on Not So Pro Packer Talk on Wednesday at 5. I'm gonna go through all of it. So stay tuned for that. But the last thing I'll say about this game is, guys, this is like the lowest you're going to see the Packers. This is for all the people that think that the Vikings are just going to take away the division. They're already running home for it. This is the worst you're going to see the Packers. This is the worst offensive you will see them. This is the worst defensively you will see them. This might be the best you'll see of them offensive for the Vikings. Might be the best you'll see them. They played great on defense because we were dropping balls, running wrong routes, all that stuff. And then Vikings offense, I mean, Justin Jefferson's not going to be able to do that every single game. He has the ability to, but the next team that plays him are going to realize, hey, maybe we should play 2 people on him. Maybe that would be smart. Maybe we should
Just
put our best
maybe.
corner on him. Maybe that would be smart. Um, but yeah, I'll go dive into all of that later. But our next game we're gonna talk about is Cowboys versus Bucks. Vincent, I know you're excited about this one. You go ahead and take this one.
Dude, I am excited about this one because they start the season off just like we told them it was going to start off, you know? We
I did.
said that it was going to be a decent game, but I guess we were just giving them a little bit too much respect. But just like you said off camera before, the Cowboys looked stale. Even when Dak Prescott was in, there was no momentum going in. I mean, they had 244 yards total of offensive yardage throughout the entire game. 3.8 yards per game wasn't very nice at all. Running game was not there. There was flashes of moments with Pollard, but I mean that's all that was there. Dak Prescott got hurt. He's gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks after his surgery. The good thing is it was a successful surgery for his thumb. I think he fractured it or he dislocated it, something about that. But now they're without their quarterback. What's gonna happen? They lost 19-3 to the Buccaneers. We can say that the Buccaneers are always going to be good as long as they have Tom Brady. But Tom Brady didn't do that good, in my opinion. It was really Leonard Fournette. Tom Brady had 212 yards passing, a touchdown, but he also had an interception. But Leonard Fournette came out and showed out. 21 carries, 127 yards. He was carrying the team on his back pretty much. But it was a really low-scoring game. I was very surprised.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't watch the whole game because I was bored. I really thought the Cowboys were going to come out aggressive. All these Cowboy fans have been telling me they're going 17-0. I was really going to be like, hey, maybe they can do it, and I was wrong. Our first game loss as usual. But biggest news from this is Dak is down. I forget exactly what part of his hand that was hurt. It was his thumb, right? That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, hurt his thumb, broken, I believe, and he's going to have to get surgery on it. So he's going to be looking at, I believe, 6 to 8 weeks of him being out. Not good for if you're a Cowboys fan. Yes, Nick De La Rosa says, "Go Cowboys, man." I hope they can do well. All right, man.
Yeah.
But without Dak, as I was just saying, this is going to be a very hard slope for them. Eagles are looking very, very good. They won this week. We'll get into that game in a little bit, but I just don't know. Like when I predicted that the Cowboys were going to win the division, I thought Dak was going to be healthy. He is not healthy anymore. Maybe they can win a few games in this stretch of being without him, and then they can go almost perfect out afterwards. But I am very worried about the Cowboys even making the playoffs now, especially after your first game. I mean, 3 points on the board, and that's because Dak didn't get hurt until the fourth quarter, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
That's all you guys did. I'm hoping the best for you guys. I want my prediction to be right, just because I don't like being wrong. So I'm hoping, Cowboys, that you prove me wrong.
Yeah, man. The last thing I want to say about the Cowboys, just to say it, CD Lamb, he's not going to be in my lineup anymore for fantasy, honestly. If he couldn't do it with Dak, I don't think he's going to be doing it without him. So that's just me, but I guess we can go on to the next game. I don't want to talk too bad on them.
Real quick, Bart Garrett says Cowboys are the only team in their division that lost. This is true. This is true. The Eagles won. The Giants won. We'll get into that one later. The Eagles won. Gosh, every single team won but the Cowboys, and everybody was hyping up the Cowboys. Gosh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But going into this next one, Nestor, we're finally going to talk about them Steelers. All right.
Is he here? Is he here? He better be here this time.
He better still be here. Nestor, your Steelers looked really, really good. They got what? It was 5 total turnovers from Joe Burrow, 4 interceptions, and a fumble. Gosh. I think one of them was a pick six, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was the first one.
Defensive unit showed out. They showed him, hey, we're still the Steelers. We're still the Steel Curtain. We are not going away anytime soon. And TJ Watt played incredibly well. incredibly well. But the problem is he's
He's
hurt.
hurt.
He's hurt. Torn pec. He's going to get a second or third opinion. Hopefully, he's not going to be out the whole season. If he gets surgery, he's going to be out for the whole season. And Nestor's first round pick in our fantasy drafts is going to be gone. Dude, I really hope he's not hurt for the whole season. That's not good for football. You want to see TJ Watt because he's that dynamic of a player. But without him, I don't know what this Steelers team is. They're still a good team, but I don't know if they're good enough to continue winning games, especially against good teams like the Bengals. Vincent, what are your thoughts on the Steelers?
Dude, I'm going to say it right now. Joe Burrow was throwing the ball and spreading it around everywhere, but to the wrong team.
This is true. This is true.
He threw an interception to Minka Fitzpatrick, Akilo Witherspoon, TJ Watt, who we just talked about, and some guy named Cameron Sutton. I believe he's their safety. But, I mean, that's so unprecedented by Joe Burrow since what we saw last year. I didn't think he would have 5 turnovers. I thought he was going to have 5 touchdowns. Everybody was hyping him up coming into the season, Bengals, we thought they were going to be the it team, but they really didn't have a good offensive how can I say this? They had a lot of yards. They had a lot of yards, but they didn't have an offensive functioning. They weren't going on all cylinders like they usually do, and I think that was pretty much Joe Burrow's fault. He wasn't the guy that we used to see last season. But so maybe, hopefully, they can get these kinks out. But other than that, in my opinion, I just think the Steelers played phenomenally, and I just hope this TJ Watt injury does not affect that because he's such a big factor in this.
For sure. Nestor says, TJ, no. Yeah, Nestor, we're all going to be sad with you if TJ goes out for the whole season. Vincent, what are your thoughts on the Bengals after this first loss? Are they going to be able to a team that's going to be able to bounce back, be in a better rhythm? T. Higgins did get hurt, and he had a concussion. Hopefully he can bounce back next week and get out of that concussion protocol. But what are your thoughts about the Bengals going into week 2?
Here's what I think. They still have Jamar Chase. They still have Joe Mixon. And they still have Tyler Boyd. And now they're adding Mr. Hayden Hurst, who they just got out of free agency. I believe he was with the Falcons. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot where he was beforehand, but he had 5 receptions, 46 yards, and he was only getting those after Higgins got hurt. So he's the next man up pretty much. I think if Joe Burrow can just get those passes under control here and there, maybe the line can protect him a little bit better because not all the interceptions were his fault. He was getting pressured. But I think as long as they look at the tape, see what mistakes they were making, and don't make those mistakes anymore, they'll be just fine. Literally, there were 5 opportunities for them to score. They just threw interceptions or had a fumble. So you take away the interceptions and the fumble, I think they run away with this game because the score was 20-23 with the Steelers winning. They played phenomenal defense, but if they didn't play that phenomenal defense, what would the score have been? 42-20? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Bart here agrees with you. All those turnovers, and since he still almost won, that's very true. Ready for this, though. Mason Rudolph to Dallas. Maybe that's a possibility. Yeah. I do know Mike McCarthy came out today and said him and Jerry Jones are looking to add a third quarterback. So potentially they're going to be making a trade. Maybe they're trying out some people. Maybe they're trying to find a diamond in the rough. But they could potentially, the Cowboys could be making a trade here. Will that be for Mason Rudolph or will that be for Jimmy G? We know Jimmy G is on the board to be traded, so that could be a potential outcome also. But man, I don't know about these Bengals going into week 2. But at the end of the day, as long as Joey Burrow throws it to Jamar Chase, they're going to be really good. They're going to be very, very good. And then we're going to talk about Thursday Night Football. Now, we saw should have been 2 really good teams going at each other, and it should be a very tight, close game. But it was not at all. The final score was 31-10 Bills against the Rams. Rams? Are they hungover? Are they still partying from the Super Bowl? I know they live in LA and that's like the party town. They have a lot of fun over there. But will they ever sober up? What are your thoughts, Vince?
I think they're not sober enough because Odell Beckham is not there to help them sober up.
Ooh,
I think the
okay.
loss of Odell is really, really hurting Matthew Stafford. If you watched the game in its entirety, which you should have because it's one of the biggest nights of the year when football comes back on a Thursday. Cooper Kupp had an amazing game. He was doing everything he could. 13 receptions on 128 yards and a touchdown. He was the only guy that scored for them, basically, besides their kicker. Uh, but one guy that I was really, really disappointed in was Cam Akers. Cam Akers was supposed to make a splash. He got overtaken by Darrell Henderson. And of course, we just talked about it. Matthew Stafford is hurting through three interceptions, only one touchdown. But I mean, when you go against the powerhouse in the Bills with Mr. Josh Allen and surprisingly, Devin Singletary did pretty decent. Uh, Stephon Diggs is just too much for them. You know, he had 8 receptions, 122 yards, one touchdown. And Gabe Davis, the guy who was going really high in fantasy, also had a pretty good game. 4 receptions, 88 yards, a touchdown. So I just think that the Bills defense was very, very underrated going into this. Of course, everybody's saying the Bills defense is good, but they were really, really good this game. They were suffocating Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp was wiggling out of these little. They were pretty much holding him almost every play because they knew that he was the only weapon that they had left after OBJ got hurt. So I think the Bills just keyed in on their key players, held down Cooper Kupp just enough to win, and I mean they killed it 31-10. I just think Josh Allen is an amazing quarterback right now. Even though he threw in 2 interceptions, he played really good this game.
Yeah, Bills are they were already the Super Bowl favorites, and then they came out week one and showed everybody why they are the Super Bowl favorites. So man, I can't say a bad thing about the Bills right now. As much as I would love to take them down to peg or two, my overreaction is that they're just that good. They are just that good. But as far as the Rams, how do they fit what was going on? One, I think Matthew Stafford needs to make better decisions. He was not making good decisions against that Bills defense. There was a lot of those interceptions that were just plain his fault. I would love for him to see go into week two being more careful with the ball, not turning it over. And then number two, I think what they need to do is use Allen Robinson, man. Dude has talent. Allen Robinson is a huge talent. I wanted the Packers to sign him, and I thought Devontae Adams leaving would be completely fixed. But they need to use Allen Robinson. You can't just be all Cooper Kupp. They need to have a complimentary wide receiver to him, and they need to get him in the ball game. They need to scheme him open, throw him some balls just to get him going. You know, sometimes you just throw a guy a screen pass, and then everything starts rolling from there.
Yep.
So that's what I want to see going forward with the Rams. Bart says, I know you're on a different game, but I'm watching ESPN. Seattle fans are holding up 12 greater than 3 signs. As a Seahawks fan, do you agree with that? Be honest. Dang, that's crazy.
That's pretty wild. Here's my thing. I agree with Tyler Lockett and what he said during after Thursday Night Football. He said that the fans should be very respectful to Russell Wilson. He won them a championship, took them to another Super Bowl, sadly lost to the Patriots because of a coaching error, in my opinion. But for me, I love Russell Wilson still. I just hate him in those orange colors now. He should be in these colors still, but I am a Seahawks faithful, and I will continue to be that, even though this season isn't looking so hot for us. I think that what they're doing is wrong, and usually those are the fans that are a little salty and might not be Seahawks fans after this year. So, in my opinion, real Seahawks fans would not do that, and the real ones are going to be welcoming Russell Wilson and the Broncos with open arms, and just they're ready for good football.
Yeah, I would be very disappointed in Seattle if when Russell Wilson takes the field, there isn't huge like a standing ovation for him. Dude brought a Super Bowl, your only Super Bowl, to the city. He loves Seattle with all his heart. Gave his all to it. This is a guy that you should have kept for your entire franchise, but he decided he wanted to go elsewhere and continue his career. You gotta welcome back with open arms and just cheer for him. Vincent, you have any final takes on the Rams and Bills, though?
the Rams have a piece of toast on defense, and his name is Jalen Ramsey because he got toasted all game.
This is true. I forgot about
Stuff.
that. Dude, Jalen Ramsey continuously shows us what a terrible cornerback he is. I just can't believe it. Bart says, I bet on he's getting booed. I really hope not, man. I really hope not.
I hope not either.
Yeah. Moving on, though. Trey Lance? Is he the guy? Or should they make sure they don't trade Jimmy G and keep him? Because, oh, man. I know it was a rainy game. Field conditions were horrible, man. If you guys didn't see that game and see what they were playing on, it was horrible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
It was a slip and slide, man.
It was a slip and slide. That field was horrible. The lines on the sideline were all like this. Man, I don't know what that. And then, gosh, guys, the Bears, they're a cursed franchise. They brought a towel from the sideline to wipe down the field so they could kick the ball for a field goal, and then they get a 15-yard penalty, and it knocks them out of field goal range. Can you write this stuff up? I didn't know that was a thing. Vincent, do you know that was a thing?
I did not, man. I thought you could wipe as much water as you wanted, but apparently not.
Not with the towel. You got to do it with your hands and stuff. You got to scoop it up, drink it. I don't know. You got to do something else with that than knocking yourself back 15 yards. Gosh.
I don't know, man. I thought it was funny just because of how much water was there, and they thought a towel was gonna fix it. But
yeah, it was funny. But Trey Lance threw an interception. Debo had a fumble, and that's ultimately those two plays could have been what made the Niners lose against the Bears. And then my question is, are the Bears good? I don't think so. They got a great win week 1 against the Niners, a very good team in my opinion, but I just don't know. I don't like Justin Fields. He wasn't playing good the first half. They ended up rallying later on and scoring some points, but David Montgomery was the main reason that happened, and I don't see him being able to do that on a week-to-week basis. What are your thoughts, Vince?
In my opinion, I still think that Justin Fields did not outplay Trey Lance. I think that the Niners did the correct thing and got Trey Lance instead of Justin Fields. But somehow the Niners was just not clicking whatsoever. I don't know if it was the conditions that they were playing in. I don't know if the curse got on them in the field, or I don't know if it was because Elijah Mitchell got hurt. But in my opinion, I just don't think that their star players were doing enough. I don't think that the defense was doing enough, in my opinion. I don't think the offense was doing enough, and I don't think the coaching staff was doing enough because they went into halftime up 7-0. And usually the Niners score a lot more points than that, in my opinion, especially against the Bears. But they were at Soldier Field. They came out, got a field goal, and then the Chicago Bears started scoring. And they got shut out in the fourth quarter. I don't know what was happening. Deebo Samuels was not effective, in my opinion. Elijah Mitchell got hurt, so after that, they had a guy named Jeff Wilson come in and handle the load, but even he couldn't do anything. So in my opinion, I think right now Trey Lance is a little frazzled. I know after the game that he said that he needs to go look at tape and see what he did wrong, and they need a rebound from this. So in my opinion, he's very mature, and I think that he's going to continue to be mature, but I think the best thing the Niners did was hold on to Jimmy G because he might make a reappearance as a starter if this continues.
Yeah. Bart says, first time I've ever seen a towel penalty. I think that's most of the NFL fans. I'd never even heard of that before. But now we know, guys. Now we know all the teams are going to go over this next week, so nobody makes that mistake again. But let's go into Overreaction Monday. Are the Niners, is this what we're going to see all year? I hope not, because I as much as I would love for AJ just be depressed all the time, and I'm kidding. As long as I would love for AJ just be sad all the time and the Niners lose all the time, I want to see Trey Lance do well. I don't wish ill will upon him. I would love for him to be able to succeed in this league. He's a young guy. He still has a lot to learn. Sorry, I didn't mean it. Okay, I didn't mean it, guys. Don't clip it. All right, I'm sorry, AJ. But I want Trey Lance to succeed. All right. I would love for him to succeed. I just don't know how long is it going to take for the Niners to get out of this funk. They lost to the Bears. Like everyone thought
Yeah.
this was like a slam dunk win for the Niners, even with a rookie quarterback with Trey Lance. And I don't know. Maybe it was just the field conditions. Maybe that's it, and they're going to bounce back next week. I really hope so.
Yeah.
Nestor says Reed wants to see AJ side. Guys, I'm sorry. All right. Gosh, I'm gonna hear about this all tomorrow.
I told you, Reed. I told you shouldn't have done it, man. You shouldn't
I'm
have done
sorry.
it. But yeah, just speaking on Trey Lance, the only time I don't want him to succeed is 2 times a year, and that's when they play the Seahawks. But other than that, I hope he does rebound from this. I hope Kittle rebounds from this because I have him on one of my fantasies. And I just hope that something happens. Maybe it was because Kittle was not playing. But in my opinion, I think they need to forget about this game entirely. It was hopefully a fluke game for them. And hopefully AJ was right and they do win the division in the NFC West, because I would hate the Rams or the Cardinals to win it, honestly.
I don't know who's going to win it. Seahawks are the top of the division as far as right now. If they can get a win tonight, they're the leading dogs in the NFC West. That's crazy. Let's go into our last game that we're going to be talking about for our Overreaction Monday. Vincent, go ahead, overreact about the Giants versus Titans.
Dude, the only guy I want to overreact about the Giants right now is Saquon Barkley. Oh my jeez. 18 carries, 164 yards, 9.1 average per carry, and a touchdown. That's insane. But the biggest thing I'll take away from this game is, where is Derrick Henry? Are they like resting him? He didn't get that many carries. He only got 21. And I mean, usually 25, 26, 27, higher carries than that. But he only had 82 yards. So is that foot affecting him? That's my big question here. And of course, we expected the woes with the passing and everything. But they did not do too bad. Ryan Tannehill had 266 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he was spreading the ball around. I mean, I think it was almost 10 different receivers that he threw the ball to, and they got a reception. So, in my opinion, I think the Titans are going to be just fine as soon as Derrick Henry comes back, because to lose to the Giants week 1 to a team that was supposed to be one of the worst in the NFL, I mean, the NFL is crazy right now. People are winning, and we didn't think they were going to win at all. So, in my opinion, it's just, where's Derrick Henry? And kudos to Saquon Barkley, because he might be back.
Yeah. Week 1, Saquon comes out and just shuts up all the haters. All the haters that said Saquon was trash, he was washed up, wasn't going to be the same guy. He proved them all wrong week 1, and everybody's going to learn how Saquon is back. Will it be enough for the Giants to win games going forward? I don't think so. Giants got to squeeze one out against a mid-tier team, in my opinion, of the Titans. But it was an upset, so I'm very impressed. But I don't see them being able to do this on a week-to-week basis. Yeah. So I think Giants at the end of the day, still the same team, but with a better running back now. But that's just my opinion. Guys, let us know down in the comments your overreactions to this week 1. What do you think what teams are you high on? What players are you high on? What teams are players that you're just like, wow, these guys suck? But before we end this episode, we're going to give our predictions for the game tonight. It's Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football is back, guys. I'm so excited. I think it's going to be a good game. Russell Wilson returns home to Seattle. He's going to say, that's my stadium. This is my field. And I'm going to prove you guys all wrong. I'm going to show you guys.
I think it's going to be a really good game. It's at what used to be CenturyLink. Now it's Lumen Field. So it's the first time that Russell Wilson comes home in a different jersey. Everybody's excited in the NFL. Even the fans are excited, apparently. People are wishing ill will on him. People are wishing that he has a great game. But, all Seahawks fans want to win, and they want a good game. Especially in that stadium. It gets super loud, and hopefully tonight it will too. But I'll say my prediction first, since it's the one that's most expected. I think that the Seahawks are going to win. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be 17-14. It's going to be a rough start for both teams, just like it's been for all the teams in the NFL almost. There's been very few teams that go over 28 points this season, this week 1. So I'm expecting it to be a low-scoring game. Kinks are going to be getting out there. Russell Wilson's with a new team where I don't think he has good receivers, and then the Seahawks, they don't have good quarterbacks, honestly. So it's going to be something to watch, and I think it's going to be a real ground and pound game with those running backs. So you got those running backs. I hope they're in your fantasy lineup because they're going to be doing work today.
All right, Vincent. I really wish Seattle could prove it against Russell Wilson that we're better without you. We don't need you. But at the end of the day, I think Seattle's a 2-win team. I've been saying it for a while now. I don't see them winning this game. Russell Wilson's going to come home and say that this is his stadium still, and I'm a Denver Bronco now, and he's going to win it 17-13. All right.
Oh,
I think Seahawks get a touchdown, hopefully to lock it. Need him to have a good game for fantasy, and then hopefully they and then probably 2 field goals. But that's my prediction for tonight. We're gonna end off with Bart's overreaction. My overreact is our horrible fan base in Miami. Everyone is saying Tua sucks. His numbers were good, and we made New England look bad. This is true. I don't think you should be saying Tua sucks. I think they looked really, really well. Yeah, you're paying the Patriots, who are at best a mid-tier team. But I don't think she reacts. Vincent, what are your thoughts? I know you're a big Tua fan.
I like Tua, man. He went for 270, 1 touchdown. I think that's amazing in my opinion.
It's not bad.
Expecting especially last year, he only had about 3,600 yards. I think 16 touchdowns and almost matched with interceptions. So in my opinion, he's off to a good start. It's not a stellar start for an MVP type season, but he's doing better. The Dolphins are doing better. They have good running backs, good wide receivers, and the only thing I think they should do more is get Mike Gesicki a little bit more involved. I think he's the next piece that will help them move up and hopefully fight for the division there with the Bills, or at least a playoff spot.
Yeah, I haven't heard about this Miami fan base saying that he sucks. If they need to be realistic about their team, they don't need Tua to be a elite top 3 quarterback. They just need him to be good enough to not to turn the ball over every single down and continue to move those chains. They just need a mid-tier quarterback at best, or at worst, I mean. And then they can win again. They have a good defense. They have Tyreek Hill. They have offense. They have Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle looks so good. I think they are fine. They need to stop overreacting. But yeah, guys, make sure you follow us on everything: TikTok, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, hit a like on this video, and stay tuned to all of our content coming this week. Tomorrow we got Fantasy Talk. Hopefully AJ will be back. Follow us down all there. Guys, it's good. Week 1, it was so exciting. So exciting! I'm so excited for this NFL season. Even though the Packers lost, I think there's so many good games, so many good storylines. Hopefully, everybody stays healthy and there's no more injuries like this there has been. But I'm excited and keep on grinding. See you guys next time.